Good morning, this is Jannie B from JannieBFree.com, and today I want to talk about making your life a whole lot easier by consolidating similar or like items. This is something that's pretty obvious, and my son's been out helping me a few times, and I find he works construction, and they have to be extremely organized, and safety is a big thing, so he's very focused on that kind of stuff. I just find naturally, and it's really makes so much sense. And you know, like which of these items doesn't belong kind of thing. If you're as old as me, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so I've been doing this lately, and I find when you're doing your 15-minute push or declutter, your 15-minute joy me time, it's very helpful, because sometimes if you can even just get things sorted into piles, first off, it looks a lot better, and secondly, it makes the next time a lot easier. So that's actually that's it in a nutshell. This doesn't even have to be that long today. Consolidate, sort and consolidate when you can. And you'll also find in the process a lot of times that you just naturally find a lot of garbage, and that obviously makes it a lot easier. And that's something else, speaking of garbage, that has really made a big difference for me. I've started just this again. I'm telling you, one day I said to my daughter, I used to get so excited when I'd get certain things, like silly things done. Hey, swept the floor today, look at how nice it looks, and stuff like that. Look, I got the counter cleaned off, woohoo! But if you're there, you'll understand what the hell I'm talking about. And that this is another brainwave of mine. Garbage day used to be a nightmare, because me and my wisdom used to think I had to let it pile up to be the most efficient, to take a huge whopping load at any time that I could, and or like when it was huge. So it was always a huge job because it wasn't structured. So usually it would just get done when the garbage got so out of hand we couldn't stand it anymore. And I would end up going to work with stinking loads of garbage in my car, because I would do it on my lunch. And I don't have a truck, so it has to go in my little Ford Fiesta. And it was not fun at all. And for at least at that time, I mean, over the years I've had different vehicles, but this went on for years for me. And I thought I was being efficient, because then I didn't have to go to the dump so much. It just so happens I work in town, and I can make it to the dump if I'm really quick on my break and back, or on my lunch for sure. So I have started going. I work Thursdays, so I started making Thursday dump day no matter what. I've always got at least, usually only one bag of garbage and some recyclables, and that's what I do. So it's revolutionized my life, because I, first off, don't have garbage around the house at all anymore. So the place doesn't look like a garbage landfill site. It doesn't smell. I don't have animals getting into it randomly. And I don't even need an outside garbage shed. I'd thought to get one. And while I'm still decluttering, I do still have a little more garbage than I would normally have. And I have a little more recyclables. At some point, I may get a just a very small bin, put my garbage in. And then I might go every other week. But that's just a good statement of how organization and decluttering makes your life easier. Because when I first started going once a week, even, I used to have more than one bag. I used to have 2 to 3 bags, usually, maybe even 4, along with recycling. The car was jam-packed. Now it's just not much. I started using a bin in my kitchen under a little table I have. put my recycles and take it, just grab it, throw it in the car, dump it when I go, and it works just wonderfully. And so those are, so in a way, I don't know how you could put that under the caption of consolidating items, but in a way it is. And it's taking care of them on a routine basis. But you can use this anywhere for anything. It's very, like I said, very handy for the 15 minutes. If you just having like a blah day and you can't seem to find anything, just sort stuff for 15 minutes. Oh, excuse me. So you see, just sort stuff for 15 minutes. And then the next time, just pick a couple piles to find a home for or to go through. See if you want anything wherever. Or in the meantime, it'll also give you, I've had this happen a few times, and I see, oh, I have a whole bunch of this or that. And you can start thinking about what you're going to do with that. You can think, oh, okay, next time I'm going to hit straight on sorting. Like I, for some reason, have lots of screwdrivers. And so I could say, or sometime when I'm just sitting there and think, oh yeah, I've got a pile of screwdrivers downstairs that needs to be sorted. I'll go grab it and just sit here and sort them right now. I find I do a lot of that kind of thing. I'm very seldom not cleaning or sorting something. And because that's just the way it is right now. If I want to get ahead, it's like anything, weight loss at first, anything, you got to hit it hard. And at first it was so frustrating. I was a wreck because I was working so hard and just not getting too far. And there we go. Clean enough of the mess. Okay, guys, you got to stop for a minute. Okay, here we go. And but in time, like now, everything is building up and it's almost magically turning into a power rule quite often for things, or let's just say it becomes quite apparent. I'm working right now on moving the dogs to a different room. I didn't want another project. I sure don't need another project, but when it's done, it's going to save me about half an hour cleaning floors, and my kitchen is going to be revolutionized, and I'm actually going to be able to put real flooring in the kitchen, which I couldn't do with the dogs. And it's just going to be wonderful. And it's going to be better for them too, because the room they're in now gets really hot in the summer, and I wasn't comfortable with it. And now I don't need to worry about that. And it's beautiful in the morning. And we're going to set it up so they can go in and out when they want. There is a door access to it. And we're putting in a big yard for them this year. It's going to be quite nice. And if your kids are just growing up, be good to them, because you might save your ass someday. I'm telling you. My kids are my best friends, my biggest supporters, my most honest critics, but they're never mean. And they're usually right, and they also so very often have a good solution for me. They are my rocks. My kids are, they're absolutely my rocks. And I sometimes don't know how I got so lucky, but I did. And the one thing I always did with them is I just loved them. Loved them. Maya Angelou, I believe is her name. Said your eyes light up when your child walks in the room. That was the number one thing I always did. We have a kitchen where the stairs are at the end of the room. They come down through the kitchen, and I'd be standing there doing dishes, and every time they'd come down the stairs, their bedrooms were upstairs. I'd make it a point, because I seem to be always standing there doing dishes. I would make it a point to stop what I was doing and look at them with full attention and say something. Even if it was just hello, goodbye. My son used to cruise through. He was always very sociable and busy, and he worked and went out and had hobbies. And he'd say, Mom, going. Mom, going. I can't even say it. And he'd go to the cupboard, stuff something in his face, and go. In that time, I was present. And there's lots of times I felt that I wasn't present enough in their life. Classic ADD. If you have it, watch that, because you're always flipping about and so engrossed in things and thinking if I can get this done, then I'll have time. Just make the time. Time flies. I just turned 60, which I'm going to be saying a lot. That was a real milestone for me. And for some reason it makes me think I know what I'm doing, but I will say I do know what I'm doing a lot more than I ever have in my life. What I wouldn't do to be my brain now 20, 30, 40 years ago. Some people get that. It took me this long because I've had a lot of trauma in my life. Every single one put me back instead of forward. So I'd make some progress and then I'd go backwards by a lot. Sometimes more than I went ahead. So that's where I am now. So anyway, I guess that's it. So consolidate wherever you can and you'll find all kinds of benefits from it that I'm not even mentioning here. And once again, I'm going to be spending a lot of time making point form PDFs, or illustrations. It may not be for a while. If they're not here, shoot me a comment and say, could you please make me an illustrated list of your video, because the main points of your video is what I actually have in mind, is to make them so you can print them out and hang them up, and that they'll be kind of cute. That's what I'm thinking. And I can make that a priority then. Woohoo! Alright, Lily's the speed girl. So, I'm going to let it go right now so we can sign off before we lose this. I live in abject fear of losing my videos with this phone. And my internet isn't good, so it's going to be a chore. The longer they go, the harder it is for me to upload them as well. So, we're going to let this go. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. Sort, sort, sort. And with everything you can, everything in your life. Sit down right now, if you've got a minute, and make a list of things you could work on, areas in your life you could work on to consolidate. It'll be more efficient. It'll streamline things. Like, for instance, quickly in the back, I'm going to move my dogs to what was supposed to be my office. It always had been, and I was really looking forward to using it. But it's going to free up space where they are now, so I'll just deal with it. But it's consolidating that. If the back door is off that room where they are now, they have to march through the kitchen and that room to get outside, or through the kitchen off my front porch. The place looks like Mad Max theme. I'll have to show it to you someday. It's a testament of what you can do when you put your mind to it, when you live in the country, so you don't have people complaining. But it equals one great big mess. And like I said, it's been misery, and minimum half an hour a day cleanup, probably more. I want to factor in all of the rooms that we need to march through. Of course, 2 dogs like the front yard, 3 dogs like the backyard. 1 dog, I say that because that dog right there, she's a bit of a wild child. She likes both yards, so I need to put her out both yards in the morning. So she's this little spitfire. She's a greyhound with a bit of husky in her. She's bred to be a sled dog because they are doing that these days. They're short little hair. So was he. He was a working sled dog. But it wasn't the life for him. I suspect he had a leg injury, but it only shows up in the cold. I know this because when I take him out when it's really cold, he starts limping and has to go in. Anyway, he's the biggest pup you ever saw. And he'll just stop dead, which was probably causing some issues. So thankfully, we got to take him. Best thing that ever happened to Lily. His name is Bowser, and he's just a sweetheart. Right, Mousy? He's got his orange harness on, so you can see him. They've got light up collars, which are adorable in the winter. We take them out and it's still dark. Okay, so we're off and running. I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. I really do. I love every decent being in this world. Anybody that's trying and is good to other people and other things and to the world and to the earth. I think that we need to really apply ourselves and just keep getting stronger and don't give up. keep going. It is going to be okay. It is going to be okay. You just got to keep going. And that's it. Just keep going. It'll get better. Every day stronger. I have that written in chalk on my bedroom wall. Every day stronger. And that was my thing. What 3 things can I do today? And that's really how I dug myself out of the worst of things. I don't do that anymore, but I just naturally do it now in my time notebook. I just don't limit myself to 3. I try to do my biggest priorities, which are more than 3 sometimes. Sometimes it's only 1. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Jannie B from JannieBFree.com.